Let's cross now to Berlin and speak with Ben Aris. He's chief editor at Business News Europe. Welcome back to the programme, Ben. Now, how exactly does a nation calculate the cost, development potential and suppressed GDP of a 4-decade Cold War era? And is there any international legal framework for this?
It's incredibly difficult, isn't it? I mean, you have to assess not only physical damage done in the war, but then the lost opportunity cost of like putting the Poland under the yoke of the Warsaw Pact and imposing centrally planned economy, which didn't work very well. And the rest of Western Europe flourished. Poland was 4 decades, I think it was, under the Soviet yoke and lost a lot of money from that. As for legal enforceability, there is no court to take this to. So even once the calculations are made, and even that's going to be hard because the Russians have closed off the archives, which would give you the information to allow you to make those calculations, there's nowhere to go. You can take it to whatever court, but none of like the ICJ maybe, but there's no way of enforcing that, forcing Russia to pay any reparations should they come to a final number.
Warsaw previously demanded $1.5 trillion from Germany. Is this new push against Moscow a realistic legal strategy or purely a political tool to counter current Russian narratives?
I think it's a political tool. I mean, it does several things. I mean, despite the fact that they're very unlikely to see a single penny of this money, but it sort of downgrades the argument Poland was having with Germany, where it was asking for whatever it was, 1.3 trillion euros in compensation, by taking the spotlight off that issue and moving it across to Russia. It also has to be seen within the context of the talk of reparations that Russia is supposed to pay to Ukraine. And Poland comes into that conversation as an ally, a guarantor. But with this launch of this claim of reparations, then it also comes to the table as a creditor. So Russia has 300 billion frozen in Europe, and part of that money is supposed to be, or a lot of that money is supposed to be tasked to pay reparations to Ukraine. But now Poland is putting a claim in and saying, like, if there is a redistribution of Russian assets to pay for war, then actually we're owed some money. And they are owed some money, in so much as after the Potsdam Agreement that there was reparations paid by Germany for Poland, but the Soviet Union pocketed all that money and has never paid it out. And so I think part of the claim is specifically at that fixed sum, which is known, and they want to have that money paid back to Poland as well. And finally, I'll say this plays great to the Polish domestic audience. The relations with Russia, as you said, are really awful. And here they have a concrete issue saying, look, the Soviet Union stole our money and we want it back.
And Poland has cited uncertainty over energy and infrastructure. How much do these historical grievances actually impact current foreign direct investment across Central and Eastern Europe?
Well, foreign FDI, foreign direct investment, has been pouring into Poland. The economy's been flourishing. It recently became a trillion-euro economy for the first time. It's the big success story of the accession in 2003. And economic relations with Russia are completely broken. There are lots of gas pipelines, exports that were going from Russia to Poland, most of which have been cut off. So it introduces some uncertainty, and there has been some talk of the possibility of Russia invading NATO countries, Western Europe. And of course, Poland stands in the front line on that. So, but I don't see how this adds to that existing uncertainty. And as I say, there's very little business between Russia and Poland, and so that won't be affected. It's already stopped. But yes, it just adds to the general climate of uncertainty and the possibility of a pan-European war after the Ukrainian one is over.
Right, interesting analysis there. Ben Aris, chief editor at Business News Europe. Thank you very much for joining us.